Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mill here with another Knicks post-game show. Unfortunately, this one is a loss. So I obviously don't like it when the Knicks lose, and I have to talk about everything we need to fix. But yeah, the Knicks lost to the Cavs 95-89. I'm still processing this game because this was a very winnable game. We were leading most of the game, especially the first half, and the fact that we came out in that fourth quarter and played the way we did to end up losing. A lot of factors went into it, but we should have played better. Some of our guys should have played better. We're going to get all into it because there's a lot to talk about with this loss. A lot of things I saw that I didn't like. But yeah, we were without RJ Barrett. I just want to note that. So that could factor in. I mean, it's a big factor of why we lost because look at the way RJ's been playing for us the past few games. He's been great. So without him here tonight, we're down by a lot when we're without him. So far, he's been bringing 20 points per game to the table. So without that, our offense is going to struggle, and it very well struggled a lot tonight, especially from the 3-point line. I believe we only made 4 threes. That's what I kept hearing all night. So we were 5 for 30 from the 3-point line, which is 34%. We missed 25 threes tonight. That's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I don't know how you could win a game when you're missing that many threes and you only make 5 threes. It's the NBA. The 3-point shot is a big part of this game today. And if you're not going to make your threes, then we're at a very big disadvantage to win this game. Everyone was missing their shots, open shots, shots that they should be making. We brought in DiVincenzo to be a 3-point specialist for us. Unfortunately, he only made 2 threes tonight, I believe. I'm going to look specifically at his stat line. DiVincenzo wasn't exactly the problem tonight, though. He was great, and he had a big game. So DiVincenzo was 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. He hit a few threes, but everyone else couldn't hit anything. Hart was 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. Brunson was 0 for 2. Grimes was 1 for 6. Grimes needs to be better. He really is. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, honestly. He has the green light to go, especially this game with RJ out, and he's just not showing up. He's not hitting those shots that he should be hitting. So along with that, Quickly was 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, and McBride was 0 for 1. So everyone was... Oh, and let me not forget, Julius Randle was 0 for 6 from the 3-point line. Yeah, we're going to get into him a little bit more, but the reason we lost this game was simply because we could not hit our shots. When we missed 25 threes, there's no way we're going to win a game like this. Especially because we were barely getting to the free throw line as well. So, Brunson did a great job of getting to the free throw line, but without RJ in the game, he's usually the one that draws the contact as well. And quickly he got to the free throw line 6 times, but Julius Randle didn't get to the free throw line at all. That's usually his specialty as well, especially from last year. We saw him get to the free throw line a lot. So tonight he didn't end up there at all, which, it's really not helpful at all for us to win this game because when we're not hitting our shots, it's important to get to that free throw line and get those free points, get those easy points. But he had an awful game. I'll just say it. Julius Randle had an awful game, 3 for 15 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, as I mentioned, and no free throws. At least if you're not shooting well, get to the line, draw the contact. Overall, he had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Just another awful night for him. Not to mention 3 turnovers. He's a big reason as well why we didn't win this game, because when your best player, he's supposed to be our best player on this team. When your best player on the team does not perform well, there's a big chance you're not going to win the game. So unfortunately, another awful shooting night from him. It's not even on the offensive end, though. On the defensive end, he's struggling as well. He's, not contesting shots. He's just standing around there most of the time. I saw a few plays where he was just letting someone go right by him. It's awful to see. And as Brandon said it, let's get into it. Trade Randall. He's already on it. I hate to say it. It's only game 5, but from what we've been seeing so far this season, it's not looking too good with him. He's not looking like the all-NBA player that we know he is from the regular season. We're getting playoff Randall right now. And you all know this is true, that this is like prime playoff Randall from what we're seeing. 3 for 15 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. I mean, he kept chucking up the threes, but he couldn't hit anything. Brandon also said, and all you RJ haters, look what happened when he didn't play. Agreed. We truly missed RJ this game, and it goes to show how much he is needed and how much he impacts the game. Because clearly, our top 2 scorers, Brunson was great. Obviously, he had 24 points, but Randall, who is our second, or if you consider him our first scoring option, played awful. So, RJ would be the guy to step up if Randall's not playing well, and of course he didn't play, so we struggled this game. And RJ's been really good for us, so we really needed him. I honestly thought we could still get a win without him because that's just my expectations and my confidence in this team. But I guess I expected wrong. I even thought that this was the game Randall would have a 30-point game or finally have a good game, because I don't think he's scored 20 points this season yet. But he averaged 25 last season, so something's not right there. I mean, you can keep saying he needs to get into rhythm and all that, but are we still going to say that at game 10? We're going to say that game 15 when his averages are, struggling, they're underperforming compared to last season? What are we going to say at that point when he's still having shooting struggles, and even on the defensive end, if he's not putting in effort, what are we going to say? I just don't know how you could defend this right now. It's okay to admit that your favorite player, to everyone who is a fan of Julius Randle and he's their favorite player, it's okay to admit that he sucks right now. It's okay to admit that, because look at the numbers. He's struggling. He's clearly struggling out there. Then this is like the third, I would say it's basically the 5th game, because this is the 5th game of the season. I would say that every other game has been very similar to this one. I'm going to highlight a few comments here before I go on another rant again. Almighty Finesse said, Randall sucks. It's okay to admit that he didn't have a good game and to say that he is not doing good right now. Anyone that tells you otherwise, I don't know what to say about that. They're trying to deny it. Almighty also said, I don't know what people see in Grimes. That's tricky, because I was one of those people that saw a lot in Grimes this offseason. I really thought that he would be the breakout player for this season. I thought he'd be averaging like 14 to 15 points per game, but I don't know what's going on with him, because like I said earlier, he's getting the green light, especially this game. He shot 6 3-pointers. He was 1 for 6. He only made 1 3-pointer. And a lot of his threes have been open. I don't really understand what's going on. And he even airballed 1 3, if you guys caught that. He shouldn't be airballing any threes. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Grimes. He was 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. I don't know if it's a confidence issue. Maybe the fact that his shot is too fast, that's the reason it's not going in. Sometimes it's okay to take the time on your shot, especially when your defender's on the floor or when you're open. It's okay to take your time and shoot it. I know he has a very quick release and his shot is fast, but maybe rushing it too fast is what's causing him to miss all these threes. I don't know if he's that type of shooter that is a knockdown, quick release shooter yet because he's struggling right now on both ends of the defense on defense and offense if you're talking about Randall. Maria said this game was not it. And yeah, the frowny face. I agree with you, Maria. I was so disappointed that they lost because if you watch the first half, you really thought we're going to win this game. You know, we're only up by a few points, but we're still going to win. But the fact that we didn't is very surprising. We lost last night. We won last night by like almost 20 points. And okay, we don't have RJ Barrett, but we still have the ability to win. You know, Jalen Brunson put up 24, quickly stepped up. DiVincenzo stepped up. I know Randall was not there at all. We just weren't hitting our threes. If we hit like a few more threes, I say we win this game, honestly. Low Vega said, get Randall off my Knicks. I don't blame you for feeling like that right now. He's not been performing like an all NBA player for us. Like the player we saw last season, who was a specialist at iso ball. And I tweeted this that he honestly looks like he can't create his own shot anymore. He looks a little bit lost on the offensive end at times. He's dribbling and then he hesitates and I don't know. I think he's doing too much out there. The few shots that he was able to get, it was really simple. He would dribble and then he would just shoot it. I think sometimes he dribbles too much. He's hesitating a lot. And then he doesn't know what to do with the ball. Sometimes ends up turning it over or making a wild shot. His shot selection is so wild. I would honestly rather him pass up the ball than shoot the shots he was shooting tonight. Like some crazy layups and all of that were nowhere near the rim. Almighty said we're losing to the Bucks. I don't know, because I know from this game you might say that, but remember we didn't have RJ, and I honestly think RJ is a big part of our offense this year. Let's not count him out. If we said that last year, that might have been a joke, but this year he could really be a big help and a big part of our offense to lead us to some wins. We saw it in the few games so far this season. Because if Randall's not going to step up and play like how he did last season, we're going to have someone else do it, and it's going to be RJ. If he gets more touches, gets more looks, he can be that guy as well. Kareem said Randall might be better off being the third option, be a 15-10 and 6 guy. Let RJ step into being the second option. Yeah, exactly what I just said. If he doesn't want to be the first scoring option because he did lead the team in points last season, then he can step down and go to a second or third option because he's not playing like how he should be. And it's really hurting this team. It truly is. His shot selection, the turnovers, and I don't know. It's not helping us at all. So I really think that someone else like RJ should step up and honestly take over the shots that Randall would be taking. I would rather have RJ be shooting those shots. Lo Vega also said Randall can't be a third option because he doesn't play off the ball well. Yeah. There's a reason why he's been our first option for like the past few seasons that he's been here. But we have just not seen him in rhythm yet this season, and it's really impacting our team. It's hurting me to watch, honestly. I don't want to purposely pick his plays out. I really don't. but every time he has the ball and he hesitates or he ends up turning it over or he just doesn't make the right play that he should have, it stands out so much. Like, I don't mean to notice it, but it's really hard not to notice what he does on the court. The mistakes, I mean, the turnovers. We surveyed 100 people, said send Grimes back to the second unit and swap him with Dante. That might not hurt. I don't know if Tibbs is willing to do that yet. He said, I believe, during training camp that he's not set on who should be starting yet, that it might be interchangeable. So it would be really interesting to see if Dante could start over Grimes, because Dante had a great game. And he was on the defensive end. He was a pest. He was amazing out there on the defensive end. He had 2 steals, 1 block, and along with those defensive skills, he had 16 points. So overall, he contributed a lot more to this game than Grimes did. I loved watching him on the defensive end with those active hands, and he was really trying his best to get us back into this game, especially those last few minutes of the fourth quarter. They were trying their best, but we just couldn't hit a shot. I have to say it again, we missed 25 threes. We only made 5 threes this game. 5. Bucks don't scare me. Someone said Bucks don't scare me, but the Bucks got destroyed by 2 mediocre teams, the Hawks, now the Raptors. I mean, yeah, they may have lost to those teams, but they're still a scary squad. And they're still working on their chemistry as well, because Dame is new to that team, so he still has to get used to those guys and used to playing with Giannis. I wouldn't count them out because they're projected to be number 1 in the East. Kareem said, yeah, that's the only problem, but he needs to get his act together because when he's bad, he is bad. If you're referring to Randall, yeah, I agree. When Randall is playing bad, it affects the entire team. It affects everyone. And it just contributes to losing basketball. Honestly, I have to say that. Randall has a decent game. We win easily, even with this horrible shooting. Yeah, even if he just played decent. We saw that in another game where he almost had a triple-double this season. It wasn't a great shooting night for him, but he contributed to the win in other ways with the assists. He had 9 assists, I believe, and he had like 12 rebounds. So when you contribute to the game like that, you're being decent and you can help us win. But tonight was a different story. He was -4 and only had 6 points overall this game. In that triple-double game, he had 17. So, I mean, not only could he not score, but he just wasn't contributing or impacting the offensive end well, or the defensive end, for the matter of fact. Well, Winston said, well, Barrett didn't play. Like I said yesterday, trade Randall. He thinks he's a point guard. Oh, man. We're going to get the trade Randall chant again. Everyone's going to start saying it. And it's crazy because this is only game 5. I mean, it's not crazy because he's not playing well. He's playing awful. But the fact that this is happening, game 5 of the season, is wild. You would think that this would be something that happens mid-season or towards the end of the season. We're in game 5 of the season. So if this is already happening, I expect it to happen for the rest of the season. And it's going to be a very long, dreadful season if those are the talks. Trade Randall. Sick of Randall, man. All these comments are about Randall, and I don't blame you guys at all. That's literally how I felt watching the game. He's supposed to be our best player. Someone said Grimes too inconsistent. Yeah, from what we've seen so far in these 5 games of the season, he hasn't put up consistent numbers, but at least I can say that he's making up for it on the defensive end. He is showing up on that side, which you love to see from a player if they're not going to be there on the offensive end. So he was defending Donovan Mitchell really well in that first half. And the second half, Donovan Mitchell also, I believe, I mean, I don't want to say for certain, but he was scoreless up until a certain point in that second half, which is very wild to not score at all in the second half. I think he ended up scoring, but still, it took him a long time. Low Vega said, RJ low-key been our best player. I saw someone else say that, and, you know, it's between him and Brunson, but honestly, RJ has been more consistent than Brunson so far, so you give it up to RJ to say he's been playing the best so far. I got another comment saying Randall's got to go. He didn't even play that great last season. He has to go. I know, guys. I mean, he did have a great regular season last year. He put up 25 and 10, made the All-Star team, All-NBA. He was great in the regular season, but in the playoff time, I mean, do I have to even bring it up? Playoffs were a different story, and we're getting that version of Randall right now. We're literally getting prime playoff Randall with these percentages from the field and the three-point line, and from the defensive side. Someone said Tibbs got to give Fournier a shot in games like this. Why not? I mean, you might be right because, look, we only made 5 threes. We missed 25. Clearly, the problem is three-point shooting. I thought it would be better this season because we brought in Dante DiVincenzo, but one guy can't just solve your three-point percentage and make everything okay. You know, it's all of them that have to be better from the three-point line. I'll go over it again. You know, Hart was 1 for 5. Grimes was 1 for 6. Brunson 0 for 2. Randall 0 for 6. They all shot terribly from the three-point line. That's a group effort right there. If we really want to solve this three-pointer problem, they all need to, all I can say is go practice. They need to practice their threes and make those key threes down the stretch because there's some timely threes that we've been missing where we could have taken the lead or cut the lead down to 3, 5. Like, we need to make those threes that give us momentum. Kareem said, because even though Randall didn't shoot the ball well in Atlanta, his process was a lot better, passing out of doubles. Yeah. The playoff series with Atlanta was it was a mess because that was the first time we saw Julius Randle in the playoffs as a Knick, and he didn't really handle the double teams well. But from this past season, we saw him handle it better. Not the playoffs, from the regular season that last year. We saw him handle it better, especially because you have Brunson by your side now. So there was a lot of pressure relief from him, and he has someone that can handle the ball, and that is also a threat to teams. So they weren't necessarily double teaming him all the time. They were going after Brunson too. But his decision making this season so far has been very lackluster, disappointing, because I don't know, it just kind of looks like he is back to that 2021 playoff Randall where he doesn't know what to do with the ball when he's doubled. He's hesitating so much, and it's leading to turnovers. It's leading to bad passes and leading to wild shots. He needs to be better, honestly. He needs to make smarter passes and smarter decisions. I said it on my Twitter that, because I saw this happen a lot during the game, that he was in the middle of the paint where he would get the ball and he would hesitate. And I said that's not the place to hesitate at all because you have 3 defenders around you because you're in the middle of the paint. He needs to either pass that out very quickly or shoot it as soon as you get it when there's only one guy on you, because the moment you're in the middle of the paint, you get that ball, not only is the defender in front of you coming towards you, but the guys surrounding you from the right side, the left side are also coming in on you. So he needs to make better decisions. Winston said we need a true power forward like Karl Anthony Towns. Doesn't sound so bad right now. What do you guys think? Everyone else in the chat, would you prefer Karl Anthony Towns right now over Julius Randle? I honestly haven't been keeping up with Towns, how he's been doing this season so far. I could pull up his stats and see, but maybe anything is better than Randle right now. Brandon said, I'd rather do 10 years in the Slammer than watch Juice stay on the team for the rest of the year playing like this. Oh my god. And the crazy part is if we have to watch him play like this for the rest of the season, I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm literally going to lose my mind. We've already dealt with this before. The year after the Knicks lost to the Hawks in the playoffs, that year they didn't make the playoffs, and Randle played awful that year. So if we have to go through that again, I'm literally going to lose my mind. Smash the thumbs up button for the channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, if anyone else in here can thumbs up the video or subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it. Someone said, I feel like Randle quit on us tonight. Yeah, I feel bad because that Randle's the only thing I've been talking about tonight, but how can you not talk about it? One of the reasons we lost tonight, besides not making our threes, him not playing well is what contributed to this loss as well. It definitely looks like he did quit on us. I don't know what's going on with him. Something seems really off. I don't know if he's still trying to recover from his ankle surgery, which was in June. He looked like he was in shape, honestly. And I just expected more at this point. Kareem asked, did Towns sign a contract extension? Yeah, I believe he did sign a contract extension. I don't remember when, but I think his contract is a little bit crazy. I can look that up right now. I think that's one of the reasons why Knicks fans didn't want him. His contract is a 5-year, $158 million deal. So, oh wait, no, that's a different. It says in 2022, he signed a 4-year, $224 million extension with the Timberwolves. Okay, so last year he signed a 4-year, $224 million extension with the Wolves, that is a crazy contract right there. Over $200 million. Oh, the comments are lagging a little bit. They're not showing up on the screen. Let's see if this one shows up. New York Boy said, if my glorious king RJ Barrett was there, he wouldn't have let this happen. Yeah, I think so. If RJ played tonight, I think we win. We played against the Cavs last night. We won by almost 20. RJ played. He didn't play tonight. I think we see the common factor here. But no, for real, RJ's been contributing a lot to this Knicks team so far. Without him tonight, it really didn't help. It really hurt us. Brandon said, "Where's the slow ones from yesterday saying RJ ain't the future?" Oh yeah, a lot of people in this chat we were talking about RJ a lot last night. If you missed the post game show from last night's win, but it clearly goes to show that because we lost this game, he really impacts our team. We surveyed 100 people, said, "Who do you think is our best player?" Well, in overall, I would say Brunson is our best player, but RJ has been the most consistent so far this season because Brunson has had 2 off games, but RJ, pretty much has had a consistent stat line through the first 4 games. We're getting the comments up with Karl Anthony Towns. Oh yeah, everyone wants Towns now. I mean, even Low Vega said, "I'll take any other starting power forward in the league." Yeah, I think any other power forward is playing better than this. Not putting up only 6 points a game. Kareem said anyone would honestly feel good paying Towns $56 million starting next year because Towns has his playoff woes also. But honestly, yeah, I don't think he's ever won a playoff series. So there are some downsides to him that you can talk about and mention. Is he a guy that can get us to the Eastern Conference Finals even though he hasn't won a playoff series yet? That's a discussion. But Brandon said he's taking cat in a heartbeat for Randall. Thank you so much for the kind words. Winston said, "Only 10 likes. Come on, chat. Hit that like button. Make it happen. Let's blow this channel up." I appreciate you, Winston. Thank you so much for always commenting and for this specific comment. I don't really even look at the likes after the post game is done. I just enjoy talking about the Knicks and reading your thoughts as well. So I appreciate that. Randall, someone said Randall is a complier, aka Melo. Knicks still need a real number 1, in my opinion. So you don't think that is it a collective group effort? Not group effort. A group decision that we don't think Jalen Brunson can be our number 1. Is that what everyone thinks? Just want to know your thoughts. Because I know it's ideal for us to pair Brunson with someone that would probably be the number 1, like Embiid. We were thinking Giannis too, but he signed an extension. He's not going anywhere. Now we all see RJ Worth. Yep, we're all seeing it. He had his injury was that his left knee was sore, I believe. So I hope it's nothing serious. It doesn't sound like it's serious if it's just soreness. But we need him back. We need him back for Friday against the Bucks because if we're without RJ again on Friday and Randall plays awful again, I don't see us winning that game. Someone said trade Randall for Obi. I mean, hear me out. Obi is going to be a free agent this summer. He didn't get extended. What if? No, I'm kidding though. I think that ship has sailed. I don't know if Obi would come back, honestly. And I want to see how his season goes in Indiana before I would consider, bringing him back like that. Someone said, I was in there. It was a tough loss. Yeah, man. To witness that in person must have been so frustrating because obviously you go to the Garden to have a good time, to get the win, enjoy it. Leaving that place after a loss is so disappointing, and it's like almost miserable. Brendan said, just remember who said we should get Cat first. Now everybody want to jump on the bandwagon. I know you did say it first. You did say we should get Cat, and everyone was telling you that no, he's soft and blah blah blah, all of that. You did say it first. Lo Vega said, it's not that I want Towns, it's that I want Randall off my team. Towns is not a player I'd trade the farm for. Yeah, I feel you. I get not wanting a specific player, but you just want Randall off the team. That's exactly how I felt the year after, I would say, what was it, 2022, 2021, 2022 season where we missed the playoffs. That's how I felt as well. I just wanted him off the team. And I didn't care who we got in return. A lot of comments about Randall. I'm just looking through all of them. Highlight a few. We've been talking about him all night. He's been the talk of the night. There's a reason he's not up here in this graphic, because he only had 6 points. You don't deserve to be in the graphic when you have 6 points. Lil Vegas said, I like Brunson, but he's not a number one option. Okay. That was the first answer I got so far. Yeah, I think ideally we want to pair him up with a number one option. I mean, he was great last season. I believe he averaged 24 points and, played great in the playoffs as well. Carried us through both of those series. I don't know if anyone else considers him a first option. Kareem said, as bad as Randall played tonight, what if Brunson didn't shoot 8 for 23? We would win. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said earlier. We just make a few more shots and we win this game. It was very close at the end there. Besides when the Cavs went up a little bit more, like up to 6 and 9. But it was very close in that second half, the third quarter. If you just make a few more three-pointers, if Brunson, I guess, hit more from the field, like you said, we could have won this game. But it still can't excuse Randall for playing bad. You know what I mean? Like, even if we had won this game, let's say Brunson went 10 for 23, we hit like 3 more three-pointers, and we win this game, I would still talk about how bad Randall was. I'm not trying to pick and not trying to point it out and like shame him, but it's unacceptable play by someone who's supposed to be our number one option and the best player on this team. Someone said Brunson is a perfect Robin, but Knicks need a Batman. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from everyone mostly, that we still need someone along with him. Someone better and someone that can actually lead this team to a deep playoff run. I don't want to say championship yet because, let's worry about getting to the next step, Eastern Conference Finals, before the championship. New York boy said, with the James Harden trade going down, do you think the Knicks should trade for Joel? I'm not a huge fan of Joel due to his playoff performance, but do you think it's a good idea to try and get him? Well, right now, if Randall continues to play like how he is playing, like mid-season, I think we could be seeing a trade for Embiid. The thing is, I don't know if the Sixers would accept. I've been hearing a lot of stuff and rumors that we've offered the Sixers trade packages before for Embiid, and they weren't accepted, obviously, and they just weren't enough. I think some like a trade package for Embiid would look something like Robinson, maybe RJ or quickly, maybe Grimes, or you're giving up a lot in that starting unit. You're giving up a few picks, and maybe they could take Fournier, but I know he has had a lot of playoff woes. Um, he doesn't usually play a full season. If you look at his stat log, he doesn't usually play the 82 games. But he is a former MVP, and from what he's been averaging, like over 30 points a game, over 10 rebounds, it's hard to pass up on a player like that who was so dominant in scoring. And for a big guy, that's really helpful as well, because if you have a big guy that could shoot the three or just shoot in general, it can really space the floor well. It's helpful to have a center that can shoot. No disrespect to Mitchell Robinson. He had a good game, but it's helpful. That's all I'll say. We shot terribly from three and missed foul shots. Yeah, you pretty much said it. Let me check how much free throws we lost, because I did not get to look at that yet. Oh man, we missed 10 free throws. That is so disappointing again. There was one game so far this season we missed literally 12. It was the first game of the season against the Celtics. We missed 12 free throws. And yet again, here we are, game 5, and they missed 10 free throws. That is so disappointing to hear, because you would think that from that first game, they've been working on it and they would improve, but clearly not, because 10 free throws is not going to cut it. That's 66% right there. That's truly awful. I don't know. Tibbs needs to have them shoot hundreds of free throws in practice or something, because when you're missing 10 free throws, you're not going to win a game. Cavs only missed one free throw. They were 19 for 20, which is 95%. They made their free throws. They did what they had to do. The little things matter in basketball, such as free throws. Brandon said Brunson kept us in the game. Yeah, he did. He was really helpful down the stretch, hitting those few shots, but sorry guys, I'm a little under the weather, but I would say we missed a lot of close shots, a lot of layups that I think we should have that we should have made. I don't know. For some reason, we did not get the lucky touch tonight, or no one had the soft touch to lay it in. The floaters, those are like 2 to 4 feet from the basket. We were missing all of those. Low Vegas said Mitchell Robinson needs to experiment with that one-handed free throw shot. Dude on the Spurs does. Yeah. Or even try the underhanded shot Ricky Berry made famous. Try something. Yeah, I think he only made one free throw tonight. Let me check right here. Yeah, so Mitchell Robinson, he was 4 for 8 from the free throw line, which is 50%, which I honestly feel is not bad for him to make at least 4 out of 8. But, you'd love to see that number go up, and for him to make at least 6 out of 8. I don't know. I'm sure he's been practicing his form over the summer and working on his free throws, but I don't really, realistically, I don't see him perfecting his free throw shot and his form. I don't think that's something that can improve by a lot. It's probably going to be somewhere to 50 to 60. I don't know if I'd even say 70% every night. I would say 60%. I'm gonna look through some more team stats over here. I'm not gonna stay on too long. I've already been on for 45 minutes, so yeah, I'm not gonna stay on too much longer because I am feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm just gonna try to wrap up a little bit faster this time. I do appreciate all the comments, though. I see all of them over here, and I try to show as many as I can on the screen. So we already highlighted the free throws. Knicks missed 10 free throws, which is 66%. They missed 25 three-pointers. They're just not hitting their shots. It's as simple as that. And from the field, they shot 34%, which is not good. Not good at all. I'm curious to see how many assists we had because I definitely feel like we weren't, well, because of the missed shots and then also the fact that I feel like we weren't sharing the ball as much as we should have been. We had 18 assists overall. Ten steals. That's great for the Knicks on the defensive end, but offensively, we were awful tonight. You could show up and play defense. My light came off. You could show up and play defense, but you have to make your shots as well to win a game. But I'm gonna take like a 10-second break to turn back on this light. We're back. The light is back on. But yeah, like I was saying, they played good defense tonight, but they were not able to make the shots that they should be making, which is what led to this loss. I'm looking through some stats here. And they also had 14 turnovers. I mean, the Cavs had more, though. They had 18. It was kind of a very sloppy game between both of them. And even in that third quarter, the Cavs, I would say both offenses were struggling a bit throughout this entire game. It was similar to what we saw last night. Very similar. They would go, there were periods throughout the game where we'd go minutes without scoring, and same for the Cavs. Overall, though, there's not much else I can say about this loss. Julius Randle played awful. The Knicks missed 25 three-pointers. They missed 10 free throws. That's not winning basketball right there. Donovan Mitchell had a 30-point game, by the way. But no one really stepped up for the Cavs, besides LeVert. LeVert stepped up in the second half. And they're also without Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen. So they're missing a few guys as well. We really should have took advantage of that. I know we're missing RJ, but we could have won this game. It was very winnable. The fan shooting for $250 a shot was better than Randall tonight. That's a wild statement right there. And they also said, is a trade for Mitchell the answer? Oof. I don't know. It could be. We've wanted Mitchell ever since 2019, that summer when he said publicly he wanted to come to the Knicks and then he got traded to the Cavs. We've wanted him for the longest time. He could be the answer to, what we need, but primarily right now, what we need is like full on 3-point shooting, improved 3-point shooting. And he actually went 6 for 15 from the 3-point line. If anything, I think in free agency, he signs here. He's always loved New York. I see him coming here this summer. Mitchell can score. We kind of need that the most. Yeah. Look, when Randall is not able to score, that's what we need. That's definitely what we need. The fan was 4 of 7. Oh, yeah, so he did have a better percentage than Julius Randle. That's crazy. Good for him, though. Hope he won some money tonight. But nonetheless, this was a disappointing loss. I really would have liked to see the Knicks win tonight. I was hoping they would have won. This game got away from us. Those last few minutes in the fourth quarter, we were just missing so many key shots. And then the Cavs were making their shots in that fourth quarter, because they were missing a lot in the first half. They finally started hitting their shots in that fourth quarter, and that's what built up their lead. They were up by 9 at one point, so yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't come back. They tried. Let's see when the Knicks... Oh, okay. So the Knicks will play Friday against the Bucks. I believe it's at 7:30. Let me just check to let you guys know. Yeah, it's at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be a tough matchup. We're facing the new Bucks. I really hope RJ's there for that game. We need him. We definitely need him. Because Julius Randle is streaky right now. You don't know how he's going to play. So let's hope for a better outcome on Friday night. I'll see you guys then. But thank you for everyone that tuned in. And if you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comments. I love looking through the comments, so keep commenting for the next time. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. We're still trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. But thank you guys and have a good night.